Welcome to the Digible Dudes podcast. I'm David, and I'm here with Adam Walters and Magan Haase.
You got it.
Ha! Look at that. Ha! Haase. So today we're on. Adam doesn't like my jokes. I swear, I was so proud of a dad joke I made earlier today, Adam. I was like, it was like one of those things. I made the joke and like nobody reacted, and then I looked around the room. I like had to get head nods from everybody. Like you picked up on that, right? Like what I put down. I was very proud.
That's great.
Yeah. Here's the joke. You ready for this?
Yeah, I was like, are you gonna tell?
We're all eating lunch. We have the newbie, Brittany. She just joined the company, so we're trying to greet her in the office. So there's like 5 of us eating lunch, and they're all talking about like food allergies. So of course, Magan, you came up because we're like, Brittany, Magan can help you out here. She's got all kinds of requirements. Nicole mentions, what does she say? She says, oh shoot, what did she say? She said like, I don't think there's any food that really bothers me, disturbs me. No. Irritates me. No. Something of that nature. And I took it like there's no food that makes her cry because she's not, upset about her food. Upset. Yeah, there you go. No food really upsets me. I'm like, no food can make her cry. It's a great joke. Totally worth it.
Not to get way off of this intro, but here's a great dad joke I'll share with everyone that my cousin told me, who lives out by us now. But he's driving by this like field of cows, and he's got 2 teenage daughters, and he's like, "Man, those cows, they are really good at their job." And the daughter's like, "What?" And like, "Yeah, look at them. They're outstanding in their field."
Adam, you don't know this, but my uncle, Mike Rockwell, so you were invited to our wedding, but you couldn't make it because you were having Jack.
I had a kid.
My uncle, Mike Rockwell, his email address is outstanding in his field at gmail.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think he told me that, actually. That's great, though.
Yeah, he's a real estate agent. So someone's like, how do I get a hold of you, Mike? He's like, I'm outstanding in my field at gmail.com.
That's great.
Nice.
Sorry. All right. Well, Magan, what the heck are we talking about today?
A lot of call quality on a few different options, but specifically call only ads.
Yeah. So our call only ads, worth it? Would you want to run those? We know they produce more calls, but are the quality of those calls worthy of having on your campaigns? And then Adam gets a little bit into when you might want to run those on campaigns versus when you might not want to run those on campaigns. Yeah. All right. So we were 3 minutes into this podcast, and then Adam Zoom bombed us. So now he's here, as he said, for comedic relief. So Adam,
yeah.
Do you have a knock-knock joke?
I don't have any good knock-knock jokes lined up. I'm just here to, I don't know, fill the silence while Magan actually educates people.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, Magan, I was just getting crisscross applesauced on your 2 different case studies. So I was like, I thought this case study was about Google call extensions and their quality, but you said that there was that case study, and now there's also a new, more advanced case study. So why don't we walk through the first thing, and then walk me through what we've now done.
Okay, so I'm looking at this blog posted September 21st, 2019.
Are you calling me out for like not memorizing your blog dates?
It's call quality and behavior analysis. So it's looking at the quality of calls coming from Google Ad extensions versus on-site, like dynamic number insertion swapping, where we definitely saw a higher percent of quality leads and lead traffic coming from those on-site calls versus Google Ad extensions.
Cool.
So that's the first test. The second test was looking, there's 3 tests.
Call only ads.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let me back up for those that aren't following at home along with me. So basically we have a call extension, kind of like a click to call ad or whatever. Like there's an ad where I could click a number. And our first test was like, if I click the phone number and I call, how does that compare to an on-site call? And you determined like, hey, it's a hell of a lot better if someone on-site calls versus just click the call from the ad.
Right.
Now you guys are like, hey, what if we run call only ads? Because those are super cost efficient from a cost per lead standpoint, but is the quality worth that even? Which
Right.
I'll let me just predict, not good. Because you already learned that click to call Google call extension ads weren't as good as the website. So I'm going to say 1 for 1, it's not as good. But does that mean it's not, from an ROI standpoint, not as good?
Do you want me to tell you?
Well, sure. I guess I can't ask Adam because he already knows the answer, but this is my prediction. So yeah, walk me through.
Okay. So for, I guess, maybe the second part of the test, in December, we a few accounts have been running call only ads. So we kind of just pulled those numbers to look at if they're actually producing calls. Are they helpful in generating more volume wherever they were running? And yes, they were definitely generating calls. But now with Dialogue Tech, we're able to see the call quality a bit easier than we were in the past, which they actually did have a higher percent quality, or they had more quality leads than call extensions.
Whoa.
Much as on-site calls. So they are kind of sitting right in the middle of the pack.
That is crazy. First of all, Adam, how is Adam's Pizza Restaurant doing in COVID?
Pizza restaurant's doing good. We're strictly online now. Call only ads are keeping us afloat.
Good to hear it. What is the theory here about why call only ads are better than call extension calls?
That's a good question. I'll give my theory, and then I'll let Megan give hers, or she can steal mine, whatever she prefers. But for me, I think it looks very much, it's like the standard text ad or responsive search ad or whatever standard Google ads you're using looks very much like an organic search result nowadays. There's not a big differentiator between the organic and paid. They look very similar, at least I'll say personal opinion. Whereas a call only ad looks very ad like, where it's like, call here for if you're interested in 2-bedroom apartments for $2,000 a month. So if you're just a current resident searching to, try to call the front desk because you want to see if your package got delivered, if you see call Adam's apartments, if you're interested in 2 bedrooms, you're like, well, I'm not interested in 2 bedrooms. I'm not going to click on that. I'll just call from like the Google Map pack, or I'll click on the organic listing right below it, or something like that. That's, I guess, my theory on it.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really have a great theory. I think you would think almost that it draws more attention to the phone number. So obviously for that reason alone, it makes sense that they're just getting more phone calls in general. Why the quality is higher, like Adam said, yeah, it looks a little bit more like organic. The ads themselves are a little bit smaller than the whole expanded text ad. It's I'm not giving a great answer here, but it's just a different kind of setup.
I mean, it could be coincidental, like we need more data, but we're not running call extension ads right now for people, right? Because we've determined it's not. Or no, we are, but
it's probably like 5 to 10 accounts.
Yeah, because I was going to say, with COVID, our assumption has been that lead quality is up across the board anyways, because people can't walk in, and if you're shopping for an apartment, you're way more qualified than you were before. So I'm wondering how much is related straight to that versus really being a functional difference between, because the one test was in September, it sounds like, and now this test is during COVID.
This was a little before COVID, I think.
Crap. There goes my theory.
Let's see. Well, no, you're right. I sent out the original data April 23rd, so it was probably looking at some March data as well.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, what do you take out of this? What's first off, what should we and any listeners take? Should they say we don't want to do call extension ads? We're either doing call only or full ads, or should we run call extension all of these ad types across the board, just not over index in any one of them?
Yeah, I mean, based on this, it seems like call only ads are a good addition to your account. We've in the past used them more so if there's a certain account that's really struggling getting call volume. For some reason, the call extensions aren't really being called, or there's not as much on-site traffic. We kind of add this into the mix, which really helps boost everything. I think the takeaway is still you want to drive as much on-site traffic as you can, because that's where the quality leads come from. But these are a valuable addition.
right? So if you have a really crappy website or just a splash page or something because you're just getting up and running, maybe you would lean on these first, right? Because you don't have a great web presence anyways, and you're like, shoot, I'll take the calls. But if you've got enough leads already coming in and you're actually more on the edge of lead fatigue where you're just getting too many and they're not high quality, then maybe you would want to make sure to keep these off because you wouldn't want to add to that fuel to that fire.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam?
I think it's going to depend a little bit on asset type as well. If you're, super class A, like, you have celebrities staying at your place, then you're maybe not going to need call only ads. I think it's just going to depend on per property and per market. You're just going to have to measure it as if it's a different ad type, and which it is, and then optimize accordingly. I don't think it's something we should just rule out of the gate, or something you're like, we got to do this because it's like the magic switch and we're going to flip it on and it's going to just jack quality of leads and leases up. I think you just have to test it accordingly. Each property is going to perform a little bit differently.
I love the class comment. So basically, if you're like a B property or A minus, and the people that call you are generally like within your wheelhouse already, then there's less risk here than if you really need to ultra qualify a super luxury person.
Yeah, I'm basically seeing like how big is your target demographic? Is it a big pool size or is it a small pool size? If it's a very small pool size, like your ultra, A++ properties, then maybe not. But if you're trying to cast a wider net, then this is a good solution.
That's great. Well, what is next for you guys on the testing calendar? I know you've all been really excited, and a lot of the folks that we've talked to have been really excited about Dialogue Tech and the how you're getting more data and can run more tests. But what's next on the docket?
Yeah, I'll say some stuff and I'll let Megan go. Megan's our testing queen who runs most of it, but I think we have, in terms of like call testing, I think after, hopefully soon, knock on wood, we can get past the whole COVID-19 thing. But I think it would be interesting to do like a quarantine recap on what happened to call quality and volume like during this period. Not that, hopefully nothing like this ever happens again anytime soon. But if we do have something where maybe not even just to this magnitude, maybe if it's in a market, if there's a hurricane in Florida or something like that, we can already have some sort of engagement, like I'll say like benchmark for what we can expect to kind of happen when something like this happens, even if it's just regionally specific.
Cool. Megan?
Yeah, I think testing out some new audiences, we can kind of create some based on user behavior on the site, like if they visited these certain page or pages, but they haven't converted, and starting to get like really kind of nitpicky with targeting where we still have a decent audience size. That will be super interesting to see if we can kind of create more of a funnel.
Yeah, basically, because you can start building audiences off the calls, and you guys could build buckets of audiences off of everybody that we're running through Dialogue Tech and build lookalikes off of those. Right. So for those listening, like some of the thoughts are like, should we build like an audience off of someone's current resident calls? And that way they can be an exclusion audience to say like, hey, exclude anybody that was a current resident prior. But then also we could have like build lookalike audiences off of these high converting calls, like calls that seem like they're good quality callers versus the kind of junk callers that come through.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
We could also create lookalike audiences off of your current residents if we're already excluding them. So that way we're just re-hitting the already like elite demographic.
Yeah, totally. Well, cool. Anything else you guys want to add before we get out of here?
Nothing for me.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Adam, I'm glad you made it to the podcast since you biked here today. And I was worried that you were going to get crushed by a car.
No, I made it. No wrong turns this time. I'm good to go.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
What was that, Megan?
Oh, I said nice. I didn't know he biked.
Yeah. Basically, yesterday he biked into the office. No,
I drove to the office and then biked home. And today I biked to the office and then got my car and drove home.
Yeah.
Interesting. Just to try it out?
Yeah. I'm going to start trying to do it, biking there and back. I wanted to bike there on a day I didn't have to be in the office. So in case it was like, oh yeah, it turns out every time I can't do this without coming into the office sweating profusely, then I won't do it. But I think I can get a nice leisurely pace to bike to work and not come in stinking.
He looked all rock starred out though when he showed up today. He had his Pearl Izumi on, something that could, in fact, Adam, does that Pearl Izumi unzip all the way? Like you could flap in the wind?
It does. Not that
Yeah.
I do it. I'm not, I'm not Lance Armstrong or anything like that. I'm just need something with pockets I can throw stuff in.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I was jealous. All right, guys. Well, thanks for jumping on. We'll catch you next time.
Sweet. Thanks.
Take care.